guys, welcome back. I'm finally able to do some normal stuff after all the storms and the damage and the restoring of the habitats, and it's been awful last few weeks, but I'm able to do something a bit normal. So this habitat here needs restoring. It's about 12 years old and it's seen better days. You can see here all the wood with the grain. You can see here that obviously every one of these lines is a year in the tree's life as it goes through the seasons, and you get hard bits and soft bits between where there's a bark, I imagine. And that goes right down through the holes. It becomes really irregular inside and all furry and just not good, and the bees don't like it. They like a nice smooth chamber. Obviously in nature they wouldn't have much choice, but they would spend ages hunting down the perfect hole for themselves, whereas this is all had it now. Some of the holes are so furred up that they've closed over. However, the good news is this is a really old piece of wood. It's got no chemicals in it and it's completely dry. The newer the wood, the wetter it is, and the older the wood, the drier and less moisture it will absorb, and as long as you look after it and put a big roof on it, it will stay dry. So they do love this type of wood, but not like this. So what you do, take it out of your garden. At the end of a season, take it out of the garden. So if it has got any use, put it out of the sun, but still in a place where the bees can come out the following year. And then what will happen is the ones in the chambers, the larvae will come out, but they won't choose it as a nesting site. So they will leave, and then you'll be left at the end of that season with a load of empty holes, which is what's happened here, because this has been kept in a shadowy, sheltered part of the garden for that reason. And then at the end of that season, take it into a shed or something, turn it upside down, or just so it drains, and all the bugs and stuff will come out. And then the following year, grab it. I'll do it now. Just grab a hammer while I'm here. Then the following year, give it a good bang and a clear out all over, much longer than that. And there's here you go, as if by magic, there is a dead pea bug there, bless him. But you get the gist. If there are any live bugs, they will come out. Because what I'm going to do after this, you can see here this roof is next to useless. It wasn't big enough. This is early days of when I used to make habitats. Oh, this habitat had some use, probably made thousands of bees, but only in certain times of the year, the driest parts of the year. The roof wouldn't have been doing anything. I think it was just keeping the water from going inside into the wood. But you know, this is far too long now. I tend to have my habitats a certain length, maybe kind of, this long as a max, with a nice big roof. Bigger the roof, the better. So the next thing we're going to do is to re-drill all of these chambers in the next size up hole. So grab a drill. If it doesn't fit in there but it almost fits, use that and make a nice set of new holes. And then after that we'll sand it all down and see where we are. So let's try some re-drilling now. You can actually see all of the material that the bees use to line their chambers. Leaf cutters would use leaves, obviously, and mason bees would use earth and sand and stuff like that. And that is actually coming out, which is interesting. So I know they've been used. No sign of any damage to any insects, so don't worry. I've given this such a good bang out with a hammer. Don't think there's a chance of anything else being injured. Well, I can't tell you what a hot, muddy mess that was. Basically, the holes had filled up with mud. Essentially what's mud over the years. It's not mud from the ground, it's mud from all the materials that the solitary bees have used. And because the design was so bad back then, with the roof not being very big and it being exposed for so many years. Water's got in there, turned those leaves and all that mud from the ground that they've lined the chambers with into mud. And when I was doing it, it was just coming out hot because of the drill. So that was fun. Yeah. So now I think what I'm going to do is they're all drilled, so re-drilled in 3 sizes. About 10 sizes on there before, but obviously you're making the holes bigger, so you've got to go one bigger. And sometimes the small holes are so furred up that it's just best to go in with a new fresh drill. I think I've got them all. The next job is to take the face off. So I'm going to take about 1/8 of an inch off the whole thing just to make it nice and new, because you know when you're drilling you do cause damage. So we'll do that now. So they're all cut now. Once I'd done that, I then took off a slither off the front, just like 1/8 of an inch, maybe a little bit more, just to get rid of the damage to the front and the furriness there, and to give them kind of a fresh start. I've also made the world's narrowest bee hotel, which is kind of good. So yeah, they're all done. I let them dry in the sun because they were like I say, they were full of mud and debris. So let them all dry, then we'll sand the face off, and then I'm going to probably put them underneath. Let's figure this out. Something like this, maybe like that there. Maybe something like that underneath, inside there, and some bamboo in the middle, just to repurpose it. I've already got one like that. Just be careful here, because since redoing and moving all these habitats, look how busy they are. Let's move my shadow out of the way. But there you go. You can't tell me that putting your insect habitats underneath a big overhang isn't a good idea, because since doing that they've been flocking here. It's only been a couple of days since I put these in, but they're already getting busy with it and loving it. And these habitats were all previously, as you know if you watch the videos, along this wall and not doing anything, close to the ground, so they got a lot of splash from water when it rained. Now they're under here, they're already getting really busy, so that's really good. So anyway, let's sand these down and put them in. So there you go, all done. It actually came out okay. It's not perfect, there's still some furring down deep in the holes, but I couldn't take too much off the top. But it's definitely got a few more years of life out of that, and the bees are buzzing around it already, so hopefully that will do the job. It's getting quite full in here now. I've got some more driftwood to put in around these pieces, and then we're done, ready for the winter, which was the whole plan, just to get them all safe and sound ready for winter. And then what I'll do, I will cover the whole thing up in the winter in some plastic sheet, just to keep most of the rain off. Now ordinarily I would tell you let nature do its thing, and I do agree with that still. It's just that where we are here is so exposed to the wind and rain. If I'm going to have solitary bees, I have to kind of just change things a little bit to give them that extra protection. So in the depths of winter it will be covered, or if I know there's a storm coming. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed that. Like and subscribe for me. Most of my viewers aren't subscribers, only about 7% are subscribers. So if you are watching this, please bear in mind that all the money goes to saving wildlife. Any money from monetizing the videos goes to saving wildlife, and in particular goes to saving rainforests with the World Land Trust. We're up to, I think it's 3,028,000 acres, I wish, square feet, which is about 70 acres. So it's definitely getting there. It's taken a long time, but in the absence of some sort of famous person giving me a nod, I'm just going to have to keep plodding along. But thanks for your support. Cheers, guys.